know a lot of people who have very noisy minds that could derive a lot of benefit from it, because that's all, that's all the fog, that's all the baggage. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to always be thinking and worrying and wondering and preparing, and like you don't. And that's not how we were made to be. It's how we've developed and transformed, and we have all these external factors leading to feelings like that. And it just doesn't have to be, and you don't need that much. Like, it can be cool to, I was sitting and I watched a pond of ducks for like a good 15 minutes, and it was amazing yesterday. And like, there's so many things that you just don't need to be doing and wanting more. And I sound like a feel like I
Habit.
sound like a hippie, but it's like,
There's
I
another
kind of
label you'll
feel,
get. Yeah.
yeah, I feel more like one,
Yeah.
a druggy hippie.
Right. And it's
I'll
funny.
take that. I'll wear that one.
Let's just put them down so we don't have to pay attention to them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But they had a valid point, and it's just that the habit, the habitual thought, the habitual identification is, it's not that it ever goes away. I made the point once that if you use a Windows PC and you hit Control Alt Delete, it shows you all the background processes that are happening on your computer, right? All the time. Even if you're not touching your computer, there's just like 100 things happening in the background. Well, it's kind of like our brain, right? Our brain is always processing context. It's always processing what it knows conceptually and superficially. And so we almost tune into that process, and we get so caught up in it that we start thinking that every thought that's being processed is relevant to us individually. And so we pay attention to them, and that's what becomes the noise. It's like the more we commit to them being the truth, the more we hear our thoughts. And so all of a sudden, as you start to go, oh, it's just background stuff, I don't need to watch that, it's still going to do its own thing, all of a sudden it's like they start to fall away, almost like in a bar when you start to tune out the background music, right? And you're focused on the conversation at hand. So people will say, how do I stop my thoughts? It's like, well, you can't, because your brain is doing its own thing. That's not the problem. The problem is how involved you are with them, how much you're trying to micromanage every one that goes across your consciousness, instead of just letting it go by and continue the process that it was doing without your interference.